I did an interview and I was asked by the interviewer about how I help somebody deal with stress as a cause of their headaches or migraines. Now, first and foremost, of course, I will generally use herbs to calm down the stress response. And of course, herbs that will help get rid of their headache pain because first and foremost, they have to get out of pain. But the other part of the process that I talked about is that in order to properly deal with mental emotional stress is we have to change the way that we think about stressors. Now, it's one thing to tell people to avoid stress, but this is kind of a bogus thing to say because stress just comes with life. Of course, avoid drama at all costs, but we do have to be able to deal with stress in our day-to-day lives, and our ability to deal with stress is directly related to the course of our life takes. It influences our success and our relationships. So we have to be able to deal with a certain amount of stress. So we have to start adjusting the way that we perceive and deal with those stressors. So for example, one that is really easy and frequently comes up for me and for a lot of other people is traffic. Traffic is generally a negative thing. And so, I mean, maybe you're in heavy traffic, you're late for work, and somebody cuts you off and you end up at a red light. And you decide to say, even just to yourself, I hate traffic. Now, that evokes a very strong response for your nervous system because hate will bring up signals like stress, anger, frustration, irritability, all things that in Chinese medicine will affect your liver and gallbladder, which are two of the primary organ disharmonies that influence headaches. So, a great way to adjust this would be to change the literal language that you are using, even if it's just in your head. Sometimes it's better to start by doing it out loud, but change the language that you use. And you could say something like, traffic can be a little annoying, or other drivers can be a little annoying. Now, there is a gulf between hate and a little annoying, or can be a little annoying. That even suggests that they aren't necessarily even that way. So this gulf will create a very different response within your own nervous system. And as such, will create a different response physiologically, which in and of itself may decrease the amount of tension that you have, the amount of pain that you feel, the amount of depression, irritability, anxiety that you feel. This is just one small example, and you can make these adjustments in just about any aspect of your life. Now, from a treatment standpoint, yes, again, I will use herbs that will help in calming down the stress response and kind of curbing these rough edges or our reactivity to stress. But really what that's doing is it's creating the mental space so that you can start incorporating these different ways of thinking or these different ways of speaking to other people or to yourself, so that in the long run, you're basically rewiring the way your brain works and the way that you deal with the stresses that are going to come up from a day-to-day standpoint. And this could literally affect the way that you feel pain, the way that you sleep, the way that your digestion works, all of it. So just making this small adjustment in and of itself can be massively helpful, and something that I very frequently will coach my patients through, especially from the standpoint of dealing with headaches and migraines.